So yeah. How was that? Fingers?
No.
Alright. This is actually not going too bad. I'm used to doing big stuff, you know? You gotta hold it. Oh, it's gonna go. Ready? It went.
Yep. That.
You moved. How's your fingers?
Not so fucking hard.
Oh, no, well, you gotta get it straight so I can actually
It is straight.
No, it's not.
No. I ain't trusting you with your fucking hammer.
Just call me Thor. Get it in there. I can get it farther. Okay, go ahead. Stuff the big one in. I'll just go farther. That's all. There. And yeah, it should go. Okay. Oh. Uh-oh. Well. It's coming. Ow.
How's that feel?
Okay. Two for one sale. Use your knees. Knees, not your back. Let me get a hold of it. Hold on. We have a skid steer we could do this with, you know. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have sped this up by twice. What I'm about to do is blow the bolt out of the casting. It was peened over by a hammer. I'm not sure whether Timothy did it when he took this off of that tractor that I had gotten from Jeremy Lee or not, but someone had peened it over. And you just can't drive a bolt out that is peened over. And you know, so you kind of got to heat it up. Now, you can't get a punch in the inside of the tire or the inside of that you know, mounting hole. I can't remember where the wedge goes or the clamp. You can't get a hammer in there to bang it backwards, so it had to be blown out. Now, a lot of you people are probably saying, "Oh my God, you're destroying the cast iron." Well, I'm not destroying the cast iron. Cast iron can take a lot of abuse. It heats up at a different rate than steel does. You can put you can't even blow cast iron away. It's very difficult because it wicks the heat away very quickly. So if you have a problem like this and you don't mind putting some damage on your torch tip, you can literally just, you know, blow the bolt right out of the hole without any damage to the cast iron center. It's perfectly fine to do this stuff. Plus, the heat will transfer through that bolt and even loosen up some of the rust that has built up around that bolt, causing it to be stuck in there in the first place. Now, when you do replace this bolt, see, I'm going to try and heat it up, but it just doesn't work out. I can't get the torch tip in there in the right direction. Just a word of caution when you're doing this, try not to do it in a ventilated area, because copper, when it burns, creates a poisonous gas which will make you sick as hell. But anyways, now we're on to driving it out. I don't have my gloves on, but there it is. Well, would you look at that? See? OLF ingenuity. All you people that were probably going to tell me I'm an idiot and don't know what I'm doing, put me on Yui. Right, Ted?
Yes.
Alright. If it didn't work, you could have laughed at me, but I knew it would work. I've done things like this before. One time on the 4430, what the hell happened? 4430s were put together with tubular lift rods. Push rods. Not lift rods, push rods. On the lifters. They were tubular. They were like this cheap shit rolled pressed steel with an end on them that was solid on each end. And they would break off. So when that happened to me, it happened a few times before I decided, you know what, screw this, I'm going to replace them all. Yeah, I pulled that off, and the 4430s engines, the 404s, were known to break head bolts. And I had a broken head bolt. So I pulled, did I pull the head off of that? I did, I pulled the head off of it when I was replacing it. It was when I was doing the end frame, and I had it was broke flush with the top of the head. So I started drilling. And I drilled, and I broke the bit off in there, and what a nightmare. So I took a torch, and I dropped that thing right down in that hole where that really hard metal was from the drill bit, and I had carbon steel, and I blew that out of there, blew right to the bottom of the block, blew it all back out again, and then I ran the drill bit down in that was the right size, just for cutting threads. And I did that, and then did I do it in reverse? Yeah, I did it in reverse. And it came up like a coil spring right out of there. What was left of it. And it worked really well. So I knew that I could do it this way. So maybe that explained it for you. So, Mr. Tim, go ahead and roll that, put that camera up on that tractor, because we're going to go ahead and put this back together again. Okay, so this is coming together pretty quickly. Timothy's got the tire on there, wheel on there, and I will be able to drop that down now pretty easily. I put one front tire on. I have to get the other one off. I just wanted to get this thing somewhat stable, and I'm going to hook a John Deere tractor, one of those John Deere 2-cylinders, up to this thing and drag it out to pressure wash it off, because it just needs to be pressure washed. Now, this tractor, just like every other international tractor out there, has this. Actually, this isn't too bad. Actually, it's not bad at all. Somebody must have fixed that. But usually these run on oil, not grease, but oil. And the oil all runs out of them, and then you chew the gears up. So before I go ahead and go to put this thing back together after I get it cleaned up, I'm going to definitely pop that top off of there and see where we're at with that in there. Of course, these never got greased, but there is a grease zerk there. I should see if it takes grease. I got the grease gun here. Ugh. I don't know. I'm kind of jumping the gun. Come on. Ugh. My G gun, the cord isn't quite. I should have got the 15-footer. I really love that thing. Let's see, will she take grease or is she just going to complain? Oh, took grease like a champ. Look at that. Took the grease. So I'm pretty sure this tractor has been greased. My dad or my grandfather must have. My grandfather, I can't imagine it was my dad. He's not much for greasing stuff. A pain in the ass about it, actually. If there's something else better he could be doing, he certainly won't be greasing. I don't know why I was always like that, but anyway, I think I told the grease story years ago. But anyway, yeah, there it is. I got a tire on. I'm going to bring the torch over and torch the old rim off of that. And see where... I got another tire ready to go. Brand new. What I am going to do is actually take that tire off and put the other tire from the other tractor on, because they were a matched set. And I'm going to see if I can find one of those tires. I think I might have one of those tires. I don't know. But this is a 14.9 and that's a 15. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Maybe this is the right. I think these are 14.9s. I don't know how much air is in that one. I think that's a 14.9. They look like they're the same profile. This is, yeah, this is a 14.9. Yep. Yeah, 14.938 right there. So if that's a 14.9 and this is a 14.9, I shouldn't have to change anything until I find another 14.9 that looks like that. Yep, 14.938 in the oil right there. Okay. Well, that makes sense. All right, well, I'm going to get back to doing that, and when Tim gets back, I'll have him put air in that tire, and then we'll drop it down and see if we can roll it around to where we need to go. This tractor really, honestly, doesn't need a hell of a lot. I thought the engine needed to be overhauled, but I am going to I'm going to get some plasti gauge, and I'm probably just going to put new rod bearings and main bearings in it, and that'll be it. I thought he told me that the sleeves were cracked. But me and him were just underneath there inspecting it, and I didn't see that any sleeves were cracked. What he saw was where oil from the Marvel's Mystery Oil that I put in the cylinders 100 years ago had seeped down, and it made these like ripples in there, which wiped right away. So that's where we are with that. I've got all the tin work that needs to go on there, so probably after I get it pressure washed, it's going to look a hell of a lot better than what it does right now. And then I'll probably just buy all new wiring harnesses for it instead of trying to play around with these. Put all new wiring harnesses in it, and just put all the cosmetic stuff back together, and I'll have my grandfather's M back to running. Now these wheels, I am not doing them like, you can see I've got zinc plated bolts in there, and they're not the square headed ones, and I got this long valve stem on there. That long valve stem was all I had as an inner tube, so I'll be changing the inner tube that's in there to an implement inner tube. Not right now, but soon, when I'm ready to rock and roll with this thing. So anyway, I could probably just kick that block out of there, and I actually have a brand new steering wheel to go in there too. Yeah, no, she runs good. She runs really good. I think there's a grease zerk on this side. Yeah, here it is. Right there. So anyway, yeah, so it turns. It does what it's supposed to do, which is awesome. I'm going to have to get a new gauge set and other things for the tractor, which won't be hard to come up with. But anyway, just let me shut up and get back to work on that.